Welcome to the FSL.
There.
There you go. Actually, we
There you
probably should have
go.
discussed that before we started. But
Yeah.
welcome to the FSL Showdown, brought to you by our partners Intel and Yahoo. My name is Jaeger, joined by Zayora, and we have some very exciting games for you today as well, fighting for a prize of 650 SGD and 350 SGD for the top two teams. These teams are made up of a mix of the best teams in Asia, including Enigma Galaxy, RTS, X10C, and the still reigning Alter Ego as well. So VLT in there as well, Velocity. So the format for today is going to be round robin, and each team will play each of the other teams on randomized maps, and the top two teams will go head to head in a best of 3 tomorrow. I think that covers everything, right?
Yeah,
Got everything.
That definitely covers everything that you But then again, of course, for today we will be witnessing that said best of ones that is a round robin. So of course we will be starting with Team 1 and Team 2. So you have mentioned the teams that are comprised here, but to be specific, Team 1 is going to include NGX Tricks, RTSK for Dite, VLT Casper, RSS 2 Merch, or I guess that's how I that's how I pronounce that, and of course X10C Alyssa. For Team 2 we do have RTS Kohibi, AE Iceberg, RSS Lorcause, X10C Baby TZ, and of course NGX Gwen. So that is going to be the first best of ones of the day that we will be witnessing in a bit.
Yeah, and even just starting off, because these are all mixed teams, they don't have that chemistry that they have when they're playing with their main teammates. It's very exciting jumping into these games because we have no idea how these are going to turn out. When you look at it on paper, Tricks, Aphrodite together, it's kind of a weird mix. Seeing Kohibi as well with Gwen and Baby TZ, like, it's just a strange situation, but it means that we get a lot more of the that randomness that jumps into it. But we have the agent select ready to go as well, so we'll be jumping right into that. As you can see, we'll be going on to Icebox, and well, first hover is going to be Neon, but do they lock it in? That is the question.
That is the question, and of course Neon is available for use, but I don't think that they will be locking Neon out, at least for now, because again, you would want to actually no, we were seeing Baby TZ like covering that up. But usually the lineups for Icebox is basically having that Viper, maybe a double duelist lineup, having that Sage and Sova, which is quite fundamental, at least for the side of Team 1. For Team 2, however, they have yet to decide on their other duelist here. But it looks like they're all set and ready to go. The only difference that they will be having is none, because it is a mirror fight for both of the teams. That was a little tease, to potentially use Neon in the long run. But then again, you have mentioned it, the randomness of things. Yeah, and I would Tricks and Aphrodite together, if I'm not mistaken, from way back, they're the respective IGLs of their team, right? I think that's not as far as my memory goes.
You're right.
Yeah, I assume according to my memory. I may be right, but if I am wrong, I apologize, and I'd love to be proven wrong anyway. But again, you did mention about the randomness of these teams, and I'm pretty excited to see how they play as an individual player, and of course how well they can really adapt to this new kind of environment that all of our teams are going to have, actually.
Well, that is it, and good call, good predictions on the agent picks as well, obviously, as it is an absolute mirror match. You couldn't have gone wrong at this point. And now, it looks like they're going to be going towards this A site. They do want to get a little bit of information, starting things off with a Sova Dart coming out, and already you can see the players pushing down from mid and from B long as well, trying to get that information early, but it looks like a fast push into the site. Let's see who's going to lead the charge.
Who's going to lead the charge right here? They're already starting up towards a livable whiff there. Lisa secures that kill, taking Kohibi down. Supposedly the duelist here, but Baby TZ will be going for a trade, making a double with that Sheriff here, and the spike has been planted. Walls are also up on the floor, getting that lead here to deny any vision. Casper having a little bit of a trouble taking down Baby TZ. Baby TZ from from bottom rather, will be taking it down. A little bit of a dual fight here. 2 Merch gets 1 Gwen for the trade for the team. Merch will be getting a 3K of her own from Rafters. Merch already should know that
Oh,
the
no.
Sage is under rafters here. Look at go whiff there, but Lorca secures round 1 for Team 2.
That's a very good position. That ice wall means that you don't really get spotted before you're exposed from on top of the rafters, and as well as the fact that your head is covered, so there's no way for them to get a headshot onto you either. So in that particular situation, Lorcos did a good job of closing out that first round. But let's see if they can convert it. Attacker side can be very difficult to string together rounds. Defender side, you can expect a little bit more from them. Let's see if what's on paper shows up in game as well.
Let's see if it does reflect right now. So we do see K for Deity here, and of course, as well as the Soul from Team 2 getting their respective recon vaults. But K for Deity spots out a lot, was able to not survive as Gohaibi does get the better weaponry here, taking down K for Deity as early as possible. They were able to breach out this part of the site. Spike has been planted. They do know that some are in Raptors. Maybe TZ with the better angle was able to get one. Dashes to safety, uses updrafts and all of these skills combined just to not get that death on her name. Drix, however, will be taking Gohaibi down. Make it another here despite that low angle from under Rafters. They do have yet to defuse the spike. They got the Spectre. Tricks here uses the smoke, but Lorcos does watch that out and ends it with a 2K. Lorcos has been pretty good in really cleaning up these rounds.
It's actually a bit of a shame there because Sage had just used her heal in that situation. Could have actually healed Tricks, and that could have potentially made a little bit more leeway for them to re-enter that site. But Eliza had to heal someone that got taken down anyway, so unfortunate there. But a great start here from Team 2. And as you said, Lorcos, clean up crew, absolutely. 4 kills to her name now, no deaths, and doesn't even need assists. Every time she sees someone, they die. So you have to be a little bit careful of that particular conundrum coming your way, as Trix will start things off with a kill, gets aggressive, and K4Deity to double up as well. That's a good start to this round, immediately trying to capitalize on these rifles.
To be fair, again, you did say that they are capitalizing these rifles, and of course this also gives them the opportunity to take back at least 1 point for themselves in their name. And Trix just popping off with the 3. Is it going to be another one? No, it's not going to reflect, but Alyssa, this time, it looks like the Sage of the respective teams are the ones who's actually going to clean up these rounds, at least for the first 3 rounds that we've seen. And it's really good for Team 1 to really get that round back so that their economy is not really going to be that much of a damage. But right now, our attackers, they too also have their own rifles equipped.
You can see here, gorgeous ping for Kahaibi as well as her teammate on Team 1 as well. It's nice to see there's like a mix of different pings that come into play as well. It's not something you generally see. Trix looking to get aggressive yet again, as a couple of missed shots, not going to be what you want. Gwen's going to take down Trix, and already the 4 versus 5, the aggression does not pay off. They've actually left the A site completely open, but that does mean they have higher retake potential.
Indeed, so that's gonna be a shock dart here. Let's see if there's like a lineup that through, but Baby TZ will be taking down K4Deity as soon as that shock dart actually was deployed. So right now Baby TZ spots out Merch in an interesting angle. Alyssa for the trade. Gohaibi will refrag for the team, and only Alyssa already spotted the location, was not able to tap Gohaibi down, and Gohaibi takes a point for the team, getting back on their sides, getting 3 points for their team.
That flick from Baby TZ onto Too Much. That is a very, very fast response, and they are going to go for a half buy here for the side of Team 1. And Team 2, well, they are not actually building too much economy up so far. Baby TZ not going to be spending on this round, knowing that her money's going to be going all the way down to 0. Might as well go for that ult and pick up any weapons that you can on the way. But you go up against an eco, but that's a good start. Baby TZ will take off the head of Trix, and that is going to be an entrance towards the B side.
Definitely, and make it another for Baby TZ. Updraft, and then just take a quick peek, and then you spot out ahead, take one, make it a 3. Is it gonna be a 4 here? Is it gonna be sprayed down? No, a little bit too greedy back there, and Casper was able to not let that 4K on the hands of Baby TZ. Lord Cause for trade here. Merch is gonna spot out Lord Cause. Beautiful tap there with the Sheriff. It's going to be another one here. The Shock Dart, however, is going to take some help from Kohaibi. A little bit tapped there, but Iceberg, once again, with the rifle, was able to refrag for Lore Cause, and that they just gained their fourth point now.
On the way, but you go up against Eco, but that's a good start. And on the way, but you go up against Eco, but that's a good start. And Team 1, you can see them taking some very forward positions. Obviously, they didn't have the weapons in that round to fight back properly. This time, they are going to take a bit of a gamble on Tricks, pick up the Operator, no armor available, but hopefully this means that they can get a couple of early kills that don't get traded or they don't go into a disadvantage, because they're being forced to play passively here. They've tried to go aggressive. It's been shut down as soon as the weapons came up for Team 2, so now have to play passively, but perhaps with some better weaponry, they could get a better start on these rounds.
Indeed, Drone's going to spot out Casper from City over here, as well as the recon bots will be spotting out our attackers here, and liking the utility usage by the Viper here as well, by Casper, simply because it kind of denies the entry or delayed the potential aggression that the attackers would have done. Tricks, however, it does not spot out a body just yet in towards mid. They went all the way towards Belong. And of course, this is interesting though, not guarding the said side, but I guess they may go on full retake. But Tricks, fast on her feet, was able to go and spot out Yellow, but Baby TZ with a tap! The timing is really not in her favor. Lorcos as well with a quick jiggle and a strafe, and was able to get one down. Uses the Viper spit here for Gwen, all the more to add difficulty for this retake. Baby TZ once again takes Merch down. Or those agents are actually peeking from small file. Elisa takes one, destroys the Viper spit, but is going to be greeted by 3. And Baby TZ actually takes Elisa for 3rd kill. Casper for the trade, not getting that 4th. Looks like it denies the ace right here, but Casper a bit of preoccupied from Kitchen. Iceberg takes her down.
I have to say, these entries from Baby TZ on the Jet have just been so effective. We've been seeing as soon as she has entered a site, you can take that site. Absolutely no doubt about it. And I mean, timing seems to be in her favor as well. Like, Tricks just unscoped. That was one of the most unlucky things I've ever seen. But Baby TZ, you know, if you let down your guard even for a second there, she'll absolutely take advantage of that. So this time, Team 1, what's the response? A full stack on the A side, with all 5 players from Team 2 pushing here as well. And Tricks get aggressive, already spotted one, but Kohaibi again, a fast response and a fast kill. But there you go, Eliza will find one response, but still 3 going their way. A res comes into play as well, and gonna be too much to handle Kohaibi as she looks for the final kill.
Ooh, make it a triple here, really getting Alyssa from the off angle here, and it's really nice because their entries are really working in their favor. At least, and of course I do see the attempt that Trix was trying to do, trying to at least get them get Kohaibi off guard from below belt, but unfortunately it didn't really push through, as when they were fighting it off with the aim duel. And the fact that Kohaibi also has her team as well to refrag for her if ever she was able to lose that fight is also a thing. So basically the aggression that's coming in from Team 2 is just phenomenal at the moment. Very nice deny of the recon bolt there, using the cloud burst from Trix. Lorcos, however, will be taking Merch down, and the drone will spot out 4. Let's see how Team 1 responds to this.
What a cheeky angle for Baby TZ to be on, but I think realizing that she's overstayed her welcome will instead throw over towards the 2nd floor tower here, as Lordcos is going to find K for Diety, and there's Iceberg as well. These entries are just too strong. 2 kills, 3 kills already, they only have 2 players left.
Casper, though, will be able to get a kill of her own here. We'll be spotting out 1, but not gonna be a spray transfer for them, as the double peak capabilities of Team 2 is really, you know, threatening, or we can say it's lethal, to say the least, because if you notice, they don't really go alone in towards sites anymore. They kind of really go for a kind of a all for one for all kind of play here, as they don't really leave anyone behind. If you notice that they even their flanks, they don't look at it at this point, because again, you mentioned they're already getting the heads, and it's not really enough for team one to really go for that said flank. But right now, that's gonna be a Viper Spit coming in from Casper to try and delay the push, but maybe TZ fearlessly going down the cake, but Casper is able to deny that fact. The drone is not going to see Casper as well. K490 will kill our own Lorcos for the refrag. Trix will be taking down Lorcos from Vest or Belt. Iceberg for the trade. Go High B with the kill of her own from spawn will take Trix down. Go High B has to go on towards mid, will be greeted by Elisa and make it another for Iceberg, as unfortunately they weren't able to double peek that, and makes it a second point now for Team 1.
That's where the teamwork and the chemistry comes into play as well, isn't it? But there you go. Team 1, they managed to find a second round. Every round they get here on the defender's side is very important. As you very well know, you've cast a lot of these. In FSL, when it comes to the women's games, Icebox can be a one-sided affair until the massive epic comeback on the second half. So don't write off Team 1 just yet. Every point they're getting on this defender side is very important.
Exactly. So again, Trix here this time on towards B. I still like it, however, how Team 1 does not like neglect the sites, even though they do have the choice to restack the site and just, you know, go for the trade. But Trix, however, is able to get Gwen off guard here. Timing was in her favor at least, but I like the retreat that came in from her here, just so that she won't get refragged afterwards. So it kind of forced, or it kind of gave a different type of strategy for Team 2 to just, you know, go back for a bit, wait for any certain amount of push to come through, or any potential flank that can come from Team 1 here, just so that they can, you know, even out the manpower here.
Already losing their controller can be a bit of a problem, because you don't have too many options to deny sight except for that blind coming in. And too much. Almost looked like she was going to make that, but does manage it. Unfortunately, Kahaibi knew exactly where to aim because of the heal coming in.
Oh, it's the heal, yeah. It's the heal, exactly. And I like it how they still put Kahaibi still push that, and, you know, really not wanting to get that death in vain. And right now, that's going to be the Hunter's Fury from the default plant. We'll be taking down Lorcos. Go High before the trade, but they do know where the location is at. With only 4 bullets to work with, Trix takes Go High down. A little bit of a low HP there, and beautiful double peek from Casper and Trix getting their 3rd point.
That was looking much better. A good response. Too much seems to be waking up now as well. So is Trix. I think Baby TZ might be a morning person, as well as Kohaibi. 12 and 10. Of course, that is just them being consistent. They are some of the best players here in Southeast Asia. And Baby TZ, I don't think she generally plays Duelist. So this is interesting, seeing this side coming out of her as well.
So, you know, again, it also comes with the randomness, doesn't it? Like, maybe they too also have some things to, you know, some strategies or some roles that they have in their minds that they haven't actually shown in towards our, you know, tournament scenes. So this is like also a good opportunity for us to get to know our players better too. And Baby TZ starting it off once again, taking down the Reyna in the early phases of the game as well. This is really advantageous for Team 2 at the moment in terms of manpower. Alyssa, however, will be reviving Merch. Liking the placements of this smoke as well. It kind of delays the plant, but at the same time, ooh, I was about to say that it will give time for the attackers to plant, but at the same time, Trix has been a threat towards this op. So let's see if it is going to really make flight. What was that?
As soon as the smoke disappears, K490 on a huge flank here as well. And it's just a cleanup, isn't it? Casper, good job there on the double kill. pushing in towards yellow. Doesn't even need her
Last
teammates
round
behind
in the
her.
half.
Came down to individuals in that particular scenario, but 4 and 7, they're closing out that gap that looked impossible to make up just a few rounds ago.
Exactly. So like at least they were able to really jump from a 7-2 now to a 7-4. So the viable scoreline for Team One is to get this round, just so that they can have that 7-5 scoreline, so that when they do switch, they do have a more possible chances of equalizing the scoreboard. So right now Kohabi uses the Empress here as well. They kind of toned down a bit, at least for the past 2 rounds, on how they push. Baby TZ, however, will be taking Trix down. Trix, who has been very much lethal in towards that fight. Aphrodite will be trading it off. Lorcos will be reviving Baby TZ just so that they have a complete man advantage here. Do take note as well that 2 Merch is also low on HP. Should be getting that kill.
What's that
But
timing?
that was the timing. Baby TZ wasn't able to see Casper in at least by an inch right there. So there is the opportunity of stealth for Casper, to say the least. But take note, there is also that probability of getting double peaked. Just like that, we know Baby TZ goes in with the Blade Storm and repositions quickly from under Nest. I'm not sure if the others are expecting this, but when you go down, that is where Baby TZ goes. That's gonna be a triple here. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, Team 2 says, and will be taking you down just like that. They were able to at least get that 8-4. All the more, really doing their best to stabilize their, their gap that they currently have.
That is so unfortunate. You can see that Aphrodite looks towards the player pushing into the side, gets flanked by the Rain in the side, jumps down, and then gets hit by Baby TZ. Just the worst scenario possible. And Gwen to finish things off at the very end there. A very good attacker side and a good lead as well. But can they take this pistol round? That's very important, because whoever takes this pistol round is either going to be getting them that lead they need or evening out that scoreline. And we've already seen how difficult that defender side can be.
Indeed. And anything can still happen though. I mean, maybe there are the chances wherein Team One is going to really thrive in towards this attacker side, just like that, as I mentioned it. Or there is also the possibility of a good defense that's gonna come in from Team 2. We'll never know, because at this point it's still possible feat that they can catch up to the points. That's gonna be a shock dart lineup from the default, but Elisa is still able to plant down this spike. So this is a very interesting post-plant situation from our defenders, but Aphrodite and Merch just took advantage of that iceberg for the trade. Now they know where he is. This could be a double peak now, and just as stated, Casper cleans it up for the crew, and just like that, 8-5 here. 3 more rounds and they already have tie in terms of scoreline.
You're seeing some fundamentals come out that you only really get when you get at a higher elo. It's the instinct to push together, to act together, and to cover for each other in most situations, because it is a team game at the end of the day. And you're seeing that come into fruition here as well for Team 1, who have gotten the pistol round they needed. Now they can start going about evening out the scoreline. Iceberg has brought out the Marshall. We'll see if that can do any extra damage as they encroach onto the A side.
Indeed, and again, this is another attempt of Team 1 to try and crawl their way towards a site. Marshall, it's a very interesting pick. That could have been a Cole lad, but unfortunately Kohabi takes it down. Elisa for the trade as well. And here we do see another spike that has been planned. A little bit of a whiff there by Merch, but still got the job done. Aphrodite takes Gwen down. Lorcos for the refrag, but Alyssa once more with the cleanup crew gets their 6 point. It's safe to say that both sides of our team, despite the random RNGs is in terms of team composition, is still strong in terms of their attacker side.
That does seem to be the case. Trix actually picked up a Vandal there for a second. Looks like that isn't going to be the commitment, though. Instead, going to be picking up the Sheriff, knowing that they're going up against much better weaponry. And it's kind of a mixed bag of buys here for Team 2. So let's see if perhaps Team 1 can take advantage of that fact.
Exactly. Just have to see how things are going to pan out from here. We'll start it off with the drone.
Iceberg spots 2. That is going to be plenty of information, but they don't rotate anywhere nowhere because there's still plenty of progress being made towards the B site. K4Deity will be leading the charge, and there is a wall already set up here from Gwen, and Gwen is holding inside of the site.
Indeed. They're kind of a bit scattered here. No casualties just yet for the team, but Gwen is just waiting for the perfect moment to strike, but is able to plant the spike, places the toxin, but I think the plant is going to make it in time. And
actually didn't even touch her.
Yeah, I think it didn't. Yeah. There was no like depleting health back there. A lot of toxins are being used here in slow orbs as well, but I like the discipline coming in from our attackers for the post-plant. Uses the shock dart here and will inflict some damage upon them. It's gonna be a lure on both sides of the team. That's gonna be the defuse. They're just peeking and waiting for the defuse to happen, which is supposed to be the case. It's just a distraction at this point for the Jet in towards mid, and they were able to finally now get their point once again for the side of Team 1. They're slowly creeping in towards this tie right now.
Yeah, that is a bizarre situation. Pushed all the way out into the middle of the site, gets peeked by 3 players from every which angle. Look at this. Tries to go wide there, tries to swing with Kahaibi, but that's just the worst position to be in. All 3 of them pushed out into that open position. No cover whatsoever. They didn't have any walls or anything that they could hide behind. And now they are forced back onto the pistols and onto the Marshal yet again. Meanwhile, we do have a free upgrade for Team 1, and we're going to try and even out the scoreline.
Tricks as well to open it up, taking Kohaibi down. Iceberg for the trade with the frenzy here, but all are 2 spots out. Lorcause as well, so at least let's see if she is able to take her off guard. But the quick rotate coming in from our attackers here is going to potentially change this game, and this could still be in their favor, because again, man advantage is in their sides. Liking how Casper is just going in towards kitchen here, trying to really control the site with these, and as well taking advantage of better weaponry too.
Last player standing.
Oh, what a shot.
Beautiful. But that double peek right there cleans up this round, and just like that, Eager, I told you anything can happen, and it's a tie already for both sides of the team.
So now we should be getting a full gun round from both sides. Plenty of Vandals, plenty of Phantoms. The Operator in the hands of Baby TZ, that could be very deadly as well. They need to figure out how to play around the long-range weapon, and War has already gone up inside of that A site. They could get a clue to that, considering it's across the line in their spawn, but it looks like they do want to commit to the A site, where there are no smokes currently on that B site, but Baby TZ is there, and that's perhaps a scarier prospect, as they will start things off with a kill from Trix onto Kahaibi, and that is going to be an opening into the A side.
Spinning exactly right here. So right now, Gwen is going to be detected by that drone. Use the Hunter's Fury here. Try to get some damage. Is able to do the cha-cha here and still saves herself from demise. Gwen here will be taking a quick peek from the wall. Takes K4Deity down. Despite getting that Hunter's Fury damage. Baby TZ4, a pixel inch. Misses the shot again for a second attempt there. Was not able to get Merch as well. That was also a close call for Merch too, but they are already running towards Belong. I have seen this technique, but this time Iceberg wins the fight. Little bit of a run and gun back there, and still able to get that 2K. Is not going to reflect this time towards Merch, but Baby TZ is able to secure Casper. Merch for the trade above the stage wall, still has that spike and is rotating back towards A. This if ever Merch was able to plant down the spike, this should be able to be a full-on retake for our team too.
I don't believe that she's
I
gone for this
believe.
play. I
I
can't believe she's tried
believe.
this.
I mean, you'd want to do anything, right? And you know, it's just, you know, I mean, anything for potential clutch you'd do. So right now, Baby TZ uses the Blade Storm solely for merge. I like the dedication in here. Spots out one. That's gonna be a third. They should have crossfired, but on an off angle. The timing. Lorcos is able to get merged down. Not really anticipating that they will be coming from the same angle. Maybe I understand though the change in angle there, or the change in sight, simply because you know they can go from main.
Yeah, just because as well, you expect at this level that if someone's gonna be peeking from screens, it's gonna be a double peek if they're coming together. But because it was two individual peaks, it's natural to think, especially at high levels, that they're coming from somewhere else. Otherwise they should have peeked together. So, you know, you can't blame her for that situation. A very nice try, and that is gonna be Team 2 extending their lead. They don't give up that lead just yet.
Definitely. And again, it may be a rally here for both sides of our teams if ever, you know, both doesn't want to really let go. But right now, I'm really liking again the utility usage that's coming in from Casper. All the more denying a potential push. But Baby T's a little bit of a roundabout there to be greeted by Alyssa. Takes the operator, walls out B. Not sure. Oh, actually spots out Lorcos in a pixel peek. Misses the shot. It's gonna be another one, but Lorcos takes too much down. It's gonna be another. Kfredite will take Kfredite as well. Oh, beautiful tap right there from Lorcos at a distance, and is also able to inflict some damage against Trix. Trix, being the only member alive, is able to shut down this Sage that's on Berserk at this point. But you have to take note, the spike is still there, and Kohaibi, prepared with that crosshair, takes her down, and that's gonna be the 10th point for the side of Team 2.
I'm seeing a couple of differences here, which could be a problem. Baby TZ was the first into the site, the first one getting kills and opening up those potential rounds, and everyone else could just follow in afterwards and clean up the remaining players for Team 1. But here you can see Trix was the last player alive. It means that you've got your duelist on the backline, perhaps watching for flanks, but Trix needs to be opening up that site. And, well, obviously she knows better than me. Trix, one of the more talented IGLs. But in that particular situation, it seems to be a difference between the two, because Baby TZ did make so much space. Kahaibi as well, there on the push. So maybe get those duelists in first. Maybe make that space together. Maybe use those flashes and work around those instead. There's so much utility up that they can't play around. Baby TZ already in this very forward position. And there's the peek from Eliza. Good job there to clear Baby TZ. That is attention to detail.
Definitely, and of course, again, we do have the Viper spit here. A little bit of a reload back there in towards that Gauge, but they made their way towards B. Those are already pinged members. Iceberg takes one. Kohaibi for the trade as as she informs Kohaibi that there is someone from underneath. That's gonna be Alir as well. This is the shock dart. Casper, however, is going to take Lorcos down, so they may try for another re-rotate here. Going A, and looks like this time all for one for all for the side of Team 2 here as they go together. Not sure if Casper was able to spot out the other two, but it's already sure that one's gonna come from Hut. They won't have time to rotate at this point here, because they'd be mad lads if they do so, right? So Kohaibi goes down from Raptors, takes Trix down, and everything just went through for the side of Team 2.
That is such a good retake. I mean, none of them could get into position in time because that spike took so long to get down. They immediately expect it to be the rotate. And it was a good call for the rotate. There was potential there, but they needed to have a much better initial defense before that spike went down. So Team 1, perhaps a little bit more aggressive with their post-plant defenses. And Team 2, well, they just have to keep doing what they're doing because it seems to be working. Baby TZ on 20 kills right now. A positive KD, although has almost died as many times as she's gotten kills, but that's plenty of assists as well. They're all working together. It doesn't feel like a team that's been slapped together. It feels like a cohesive team. And Lork's already getting shut down at the start of the round. That's a great response. Trix opening it up, and that's what you want to see.
Definitely, but March as well will be taking a kill of her own as well from B. Looks like they're really trying to dominate B site here, but Baby TZ is going to take one, only to be traded by another, and Iceberg is going to take her down as well. Kohaibi, being the only member alive, uses the Leer, but they do already know where she's going to come from. The spike is planted, but that wall bang from Kohaibi, and again another beautiful transfer from Yellow is going to take that clutch for a match point for her team. What a monster.
You always
Beautiful
have to remember.
Monster. Beautiful
Absolutely.
monster.
She's a very good looking person.
Yes.
Not that that's to do with anything.
But I didn't mean it
You know
like
what?
that. But
I think you're allowed to say it. I don't think I should at this point.
Because, you know, right? Let's face it, Kohaibi is an amazing player.
Before Ayumi came along, Kohaibi was the queen of Southeast Asia, the best female player in the scene. She could play with the boys no problem, and she made a name for herself very strongly. And here you still see flashes of that greatness all the time.
And speaking of greatness, again with the utility usage of these teams, it's as if, as you mentioned it, they weren't like slapped together. It's like all of them are just really stuck into a same goal, hence these performances. Both sides of our teams though is going to have a very interesting fight here towards this match point. We do see the attackers having a slight disadvantage in terms of manpower. That's going to be a res. Beautiful transfer from Casper, denying that advantage. And all the more actually turned it into their favor instead. Now they will be doing it once again for that rotate. Let's see if the clutch happens through once again. Looks like we do see Kohaibi staying in A for now, and for a potential fake. But look, but here, they don't get to see the mini map. We do, and we do see here that they are gonna fully plant the spike. That's gonna be a bit of a off timing for Merch. We have a wall bang from Gwen here as well. We'll be placing Alyssa in a very low HP. Takes that quick peek there. The timing, however, this is just And here we see Kohaibi from below, spots out the gun, whips a bit, but still gets the kill. Casper with the 3 takes Gwen, but does no, and fakes out the defuse, and Kohaibi cleans it up for the crew. And with that, with a 8-13 scoreline, we do see Team 2 win this first game, our first match of the day.
Back-to-back 3Ks from Queen Kohaibi to finish it off. Team 2 well played, and it just looks like the union of Baby TZ and of Kohaibi were just a little too hot to handle. But to be fair, you put two of the best players on one team. What can you really do in that particular situation? And really nice try there from Team 1. They get the score close, right? 5 rounds, the difference there. But I mean, at the end of the day, Baby TZ, Kohaibi, they were making the space, both on the attacking side and the defending side. You can see equal amount of first bloods there as well. Trix doing absolutely everything she could to keep them in the running, but it's just too big a difference. So a nice play there, a nice attempt from Team 1, but Team 2, they'll be getting their first win of this round robin, and we still have plenty of games to go. We still have, for today, we have 6 more games for today, and tomorrow we'll have 3 more of those best of 1s, and then a best of 3 at the end of the day. Remember, it is the 2 top players with the most wins. I'll be going head-to-head in the best of 3 for that 650 SGD. But if you get to the top 2, you are basically, it's confirmed you're getting 350 SGD. So you get rewarded for just getting to the top 2, but you want that 650. You want to start the year off right with a couple of wins for yourself. So very important, and I can't wait to see more of what Team 2 has to come.
Of course, and with that, of course, before seeing it, we'll be heading on to a quick break, so sit back and relax. We will be right back.